Nye, we're on.
Oh, okay. But first, let me take a selfie.
No.
Okay. This is Shania. Good morning. We're on KHN News. And the search of the big bad wolf is still on. If anyone has seen or has any information about the suspect, call the number on the top of the screen. 005-500-WOLF. Now let's take a look at the weather with Tawny.
Thanks, Shania. Let's talk about this week's forecast. On Wednesday, the average is 70 degrees, the high is 80, and the low is 60. On Thursday, the average is 55 degrees, the high is 70, and the low is 40. On Friday, it gets a little chilly. 20 degrees is the average, the high is 30, and the low is 10. On Saturday, it gets back up. It's warm. The average is 50, the high is 80, and the low is 20. On Sunday, the average is 59.5 degrees, the high is 69, and the low is 50. Let's talk about what all this weather means. Wednesday and Thursday, there is a warm front. In a warm front, the air moves forward by sliding slowly up over the wedge of cold air. This creates rain and drizzle. On Friday, a cold front is moving in. In a cold front, the heavier cold air forces itself underneath the warm air like a giant wedge. The warm air therefore rapidly pushes upwards, and clouds are formed along the front, dividing the two air masses. They in turn produce rain and sometimes heavy thunderstorms. On Saturday and Sunday, there's a warm front again. Let's talk about the air pressure that's going to be occurring throughout the week. But before I tell you about the air pressure throughout the week, let's discuss what air pressure is. Air pressure is the force exerted on you by the weight of tiny particles of air molecules. Although air molecules are invisible, they still have weight. Throughout the week, there is high air pressure. High air pressure is sunny and warm. There's no low air pressure throughout the week, but let's talk about what low air pressure is. Low air pressure is when it's rainy and cloudy. Oh, wait a minute. There's a change of plans, people. Okay, the weather has changed dramatically. Looks like there is going to be low pressure after all. It looks like we have a little problem. The weather has changed. Our satellites have picked up some fast-moving action. It looks like there's a hurricane coming our way. Please don't freak out. It's not that big of a deal. Just get underground as fast as possible. There's only a 70% chance of, you dying. But no big deal. The new forecast for this week is, on Wednesday, it's 80 degrees as the high, 60 as the average, and 40 as the low. The average for Thursday is 56 degrees, the high is 70, the low is 43. On Friday, the average is 65, the high is 83, the low is 47. On Saturday, the low is 55 degrees, the average is 75 degrees, and the high is 95 degrees. On Sunday, the average is 55, the low is 40, and the high is 70. Temperatures are very hot and humid, but the winds will be at least 123 miles per hour. So please try not to go outside. If you are still watching and not underground, shame on you. But anyways, on Thursday, there was low air pressure, and so there will be throughout the week. So, my managers just informed me that there's going to be an earthquake. I don't want to die, so toodles. Oh.
Alright then. Well, now that the shaking has stopped, let's go to Megan, who will show us how the conditions are in the storm.
These are at 119 to 129 miles per hour right now. We are rating this a level 3 hurricane. Major removal of roof decking will occur. It will uproot many trees, so when the hurricane is over, many roads will be blocked. The way a hurricane forms is when lots of water evaporates very quickly. Once the water gets higher in the sky, it falls because the higher up in altitude you get, the cooler it is. This is why it is raining. In the hurricane, the wind is formed because the hot air rises and cool air falls. This is called convection currents, aka wind. So if you are watching this, go underground and stay there for the next couple of hours. It will only last last a couple hours because when it moves towards land, it loses fuel. It needs lots of water to keep going. You can still stay tuned to the radio. Back to the anchors. I'm back in Kitty Hawk now, and it's starting to hail, as you can see. If you're watching this, you're extremely stupid. Actually, I take that back. I'm extremely stupid. Why am I out here? Anyway, even though it is humid, it must be cold way up, in the atmosphere, and that's why it's hailing. It's about the size of a golf ball. It's about the size of a golf ball, as you can see.
We'll be back after the break. You okay, Meg?
Hi, welcome to Straw's Berry Random Shop. We have a huge sale on all berry random weather things. Like a barometer, an instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure, an anemometer, an instrument used to measure the speed of wind, or a barometer, an instrument used to measure atmospheric pressure, or this awesome poster of the layers of the atmosphere. If you buy any of those things, we'll throw in a free unicorn poster. So come to Straw's Berry Random Shop of Random Stuff. See you there. Yeah, and I forgot to mention this weather map, where the H means high pressure, the L means low pressure, and the red ovals mean a warm front, and the blue ovals, triangles mean a cold front. Tee-hee. And we're back.
Well, as Megan explained, hurricanes are formed over warm water. Well, this hurricane, Hurricane Eesha, was formed in the Gulf of Mexico, right here, right by Florida. In a few hours, it will pass over Florida, and it will be downgrading just a bit as it passes over Florida, because, like she said, hurricanes need warm water to fuel them. But once it hits the loop current, it will upgrade again as it travels over the east coast. But in order to understand that, first we have to understand how ocean currents are formed. So at the Earth's pole, when water freezes, the salt doesn't necessarily freeze with it. So a large volume of cold, dense salt water is left behind. When this dense water sinks to the ocean floor, more water moves in to replace it, creating a current. As you can see, these currents are all over the world. But with the loop current right here, see, this here is the loop current. So with the loop current, it's the same thing, but vice versa. Since heat rises, the warm water from the equator comes up and travels upwards along the east coast of the U.S., basically. And so, instead of coming down from the poles, this water is coming up from the equator. Of course, because of the tilt of the Earth's axes, the equator is very warm. Since Earth's major heat source, the sun, is able to shed more light on it. When heat waves from the sun hit the cold water, they make the molecules of the water speed up, making the water hotter. So the loop current is bringing up warm water, fueling the hurricane as it travels along the east coast. The storm is moving in a counterclockwise direction. This is because of the Coriolis effect. So let's read an article from National Geographic that explains exactly what this is.
Achoo!
The key to the Coriolis effect lies in the Earth's rotation. The Earth rotates faster at the equator than it does at the poles. This is because the Earth is wider at the equator. A point on the equator has farther to travel in a day than a point on the Earth's poles does, because it's bigger. So let's pretend that you're standing on the equator and you want to throw a ball to your friend in the middle of the North America. If you throw the ball in a straight line, it will appear to land right in front of your friend because he's moving slower and is not caught up. Now let's pretend you're standing at the North Pole. When you throw the ball to your friend, it will appear to land right in front of him. But this time, it's because he's moving faster than you are and has moved ahead of the ball. This apparent deflection is the Coriolis effect. The wind is like the ball. It appears to bend to the right in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, the winds appear to bend to the left. In the northern hemisphere, wind from high-pressure systems pass low-pressure systems on the right. This causes the storm to spin counterclockwise. Low-pressure systems bring storms. This means that hurricanes and other storms swirl counterclockwise in the northern hemisphere. In the southern hemisphere, they swirl clockwise.
Bloopers!
If it's bloopers.
I don't want to die, so toodles.
It's not stopping.
Oh, looks like we're a change of plans. There is low pressure after all. Anyway, on Thursday there was low air pressure, and so there will be throughout the week. Guys, now it looks like there's an earthquake. Everything is shaking.
Thanks, Sarah. Well, like Megan explained,
It's Shania.
hurricanes...
Real quick, right?
Okay,
Yeah, thanks. That looks cool.
I take that back. I'm extremely stupid. Why am I out here? Anyway, even though it is humid, it must be cold way up, in the atmosphere. Sorry, I wasn't ready. About the size of a golf ball. It's about the size of a golf ball, as you can see.
Yo, dude! Wasn't on the video, man!